And welcome back to the Hot Lap. And Williams is now the next team to launch their Formula One car after McLaren at Silverstone. People are saying it's bold. What I would like to know, probably what the masses would like to know, is how much of an improvement, because I'm confident, is it over their 2024 car? And here it is. Here is the beautiful, bold Williams. Yes, I'm quite excited. Let's see it. Here we go. Carlos Sainz is most certainly smiling at the bold Williams, isn't he? He's got a few things to say, which no doubt we will get into. This is what the team look like. You can probably see it in the thumbnail as well. My protein. But if you see underneath that, there is a certain big sponsor. I don't know who they are, but I'm guessing we're going to find out this season. Atlassian, maybe. I'm not too sure. I mean, this is the Williams. Here we go. A very productive day at Silverstone from their Facebook reel. Looking good. Is that? I mean, I think it's Alex Albon getting out of the car. Apologies if I'm wrong. And I'm quite excited for Williams. It is Albon. As is a lot of people, including the article, motorsport.com, were suggesting it was very much a bold FW7 launch shows Williams' progress after their 2024 hardship, which we want to get into. So one new one from the struggles. Williams had a successful unveil and maiden test at Silverstone. And Carlos Sainz even hailed the Williams as, he said their bold approach, revealing and more crucially testing its 25 car with media in attendance. So maybe even more so than McLaren, maybe. Obviously there were some media there, but this seems, I don't know, different. Not to take away from, let's be fair, McLaren's absolutely fantastic camo livery, but we're talking about Williams. So the legendary British team unveiled its FW47 car on Thursday at Silverstone with a live event immediately followed by a filming day for its drivers, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. So in comparison to the difficulties, remember 12 months ago with the overweight, the obese FW46, whose shakedown was delayed because of tricky weather, but also car parts having arrived a bit late. It was like that embarrassing year that Williams didn't turn up to the first test. So this is a good show of Williams' progress. To be bold enough to prepare a test where all our partners are here. All the media is invited to see the first laps of the car. Sainz rejoiced. He said it shows the trust that Williams has in its new tools to produce a car that is going to be here on time. It's going to be working well like it did today without any issues. It's a good showing to the outside world, and I think absolutely. So from Ferrari, new hire Carlos Sainz, he had the privilege of giving the new machinery its first shakedown, its first few laps on the international layout of the Grand Prix, which takes you down, obviously, the Hamilton straight, and essentially you go down Hangar straight and then back through Stowe and then eventually Club. That's basically if you know the international circuit. But initially equipped with wet tyres on what was a not particularly wet track. He completed 2 laps before pitting, gave a short interview to the ambassador Jenson Button, which is on the Williams website. We'll have a sneaky look at that, which we'll get into. And actually, let's just have a look at it now. This is Carlos Sainz at the Williams launch, which I thought was interesting.
Carlos, let's get a word from Carlos to Jenson.
Obviously, that was a long run. You're going to give us all the feedback of how quick the car is, right?
Absolutely.
No, not with wet tires on a dry track, but
he's
happy. I can tell you everything went fine, which is good news. You know, an install lap of a newly born car is always a bit tricky, but everything worked as it should, and now we're ready to get into the run plan.
Excellent. So what happens now? Do they look over the car and what have you, and then the next run you can go and push it harder? Will you be on slick tires?
Yeah, so now first I need to give the feedback. You're not letting me give the feedback to the engineers of the 2 or 3 things that I
He's accusing Jenson of stopping him.
Be improved or feeling inside the cockpit and everything that I want to obviously talk to them about. So now once we finish this interview, I'll give the feedback, and then we'll get the car ready to run on slicks and probably start pushing it little by little.
Well, we're all a big family here, so I can relay the information for you if you'd like.
You want to?
No. Good luck, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, well done, Carlos. Well done, Jenson. Very, 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 very nice indeed. I mean, it is looking quite good, isn't it? I mean, the race have also got an article saying what we learned from an ambitious Williams 2025 F1 car launch. There it is in all its glory. Yes, like the McLaren, when you look at the shape, it looks a bit similar to last year's car, I can assure you it probably won't be. There will be changes. And this is from by Ed Straw, Jonathan Noble, and Scott Mitchell. And I won't get into the whole article because it's like a 9-minute read. I don't know that. So you don't want to hear me ranting on for 9 minutes, but a live stream of the car pulling out of the garage for the first time, a launch livery adorned with sponsors. I mean, look how many sponsors are on that car compared to 3-4 years ago. It reminds me a bit like McLaren. McLaren started their comeback. And he had a full media offering. Williams' ambitious 2025 Formula One launch has taken an early lead in terms of pre-season spectacles. And they'll say there was substance beyond the style too. And I think that's really, really important. And team boss James Vowles, with his new signing, Carlos Sainz, an established driver, Alex Albon, all talking. And it felt like a proper team launch. Here's what we learned about the FW47 and what it means for Williams' journey. So they're saying not only had a car up and running 12 days before testing, but also willing to let it drive out the garage for the first time. Once again, if you remember the other article last year, it really, really wasn't the case. It was an absolute nightmare. But they're saying it's hit its weight targets with a car that is significantly more well put together than last year's attempt, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And it made for a fairly serene launch event for all involved. They said Vowles was able to be relatively relaxed, in stark contrast to last year's what was stressed conversations. And those conversations, those stressed conversations, if you remember, continued all the way until Australia when they're like, no, we don't have a spare chassis, sorry. We can only enter one car. And it's not the guy that didn't crash. It's going to be the guy that crashed Alex Albon. Sorry, Logan Sargent. But none of this positivity, the article says, means results are guaranteed. But it shows this is a team that at least has a firmer foundation to build from. Now, Vowles admits that the all-new car for 2026 is going to be the real challenge. But what's clear is that over the past 12 months, Williams has made a far bigger leap forward in the way it operates than would normally be expected in just a year. And let's hope that's absolutely true. They put back up to spec in a key area. There's the 25 Williams, there's the 24 Williams. It doesn't have the little gills, the little shark gills, does it, the 25 Williams? Does that mean, for example, their cooling is a lot better? Who knows? And it's really hard, side by side. They put the biggest difference is the confirmation of a key mechanical change. Williams is a Mercedes engine and gearbox customer, which means using its rear suspension as well. But they said the rules allow older specifications. So last year, Williams stuck with the 2023 Mercedes pull rod suspension when Mercedes switched to push rod. This was a pragmatic decision, they said, that allowed Williams to focus its development work around the known platform and help with the logistics, like what spares Mercedes had available. But that came at a small performance deficit, and it came across a little second rate for a team with big ambitions to be using old kit. I'm assuming this year it's a bit different. So Williams quickly ended its temporary poverty by switching to the latest spec 25 pushrod Mercedes configuration. And they're saying it is a very shallow angle which increases the load it's subjected to, but means the transmission housing just behind the gearbox interface at the centre of the car can be narrow, which obviously means it's going to be faster. What Sainz has brought to Williams, though, and I think Sainz is one of the reasons I think why the media is so interested in Williams. This is the man that we all thought was going to stay at Ferrari, replaced by Lewis Hamilton. People thought, no, don't replace him. It is a mistake. It's going to be interesting to see where that question leads for 2025. But anyway, Williams revels in the fact that it pulled off a coup in securing Sainz services last year, having fought off the attention of many of its rivals. But it's not just his speed they're talking about. It was because the Spaniard's experience and technical feedback were exactly what team boss Vowles felt was needed to keep his squad moving forward. This is a man, we've gone from Toro Rosso to Renault to McLaren to Ferrari, and now Williams. In terms of the amount of teams he's been to, he's probably the most experienced driver on the grid. So as Vowles remarked after Sainz's first run in Friday morning, he said he just knows what excellence looks like. He said he was in race-winning categories last year in a car that was benchmarked for a lot of the year, and so he brings it with him. What he's very good at, he said, and able to do, is digest that in a way that is clear and simple, such that we don't get lost. Yet there is another element that Sainz brought to the table. We've got maturity, personality, and uniting teammate Albon to help give Williams direction. Absolutely. These are two experienced drivers, particularly with Carlos Sainz. We know how fast Carlos Sainz is. He's not quite as fast over the course of a season as Charles Leclerc, but on his day, he can be the fastest driver there. And he maybe still has room to grow. So, which I think is quite interesting, and what Sainz has found. Sainz may have been a Williams driver for a while now, having had the first test back in Abu Dhabi, but the Silverstone launch was the first time he's spoken, and it's clear from both the saying what he said and his body language that he has settled in well to his new environment, and that the move from a team fighting for the championship to one for points has not led to any hint of him getting downbeat. Now, in fact, they said, while he's not pretending that things will be easy on the track, he made clear to caution that he does not know how he will react when it comes to fighting for 7th places rather than wins. There are a ton of things in his new Williams life that he is enjoying. Chief among them now is the fact that Williams, a team that 12 months ago missed its shakedown and was in a world of woe with an overweight car, was able to hold an early launch, and we've already spoken about that. So, I mean, overall, I think I absolutely cannot wait to see Williams on track and see how much, fingers crossed, they've improved compared to the competition. They have a lot more to gain, arguably. Could Williams get a podium with either Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon? I don't think that's a million miles away. Their car, at times, was fairly okay, you know, up there in the top 10. And all it takes is one of those funny races where you make the right strategy calls, you've got the right tyres compared to the rest, and voila, you are in line for a potential podium with a bit of luck. I don't think they're going to finish last in the championship now with these two excellent drivers. They will probably finish in the bottom half, maybe in the constructors, but I do see this as a sort of a building year for Williams going into 2026. But everyone, if you believe everyone, they're going to win the 2026 title or be massively improved in 2026. So someone is going to make the fastest car, someone's going to make the slowest car. That's kind of a fact. But the fact they are with Mercedes for this year and next year, I think, is good. The fact that they've got Mercedes suspension, the newest suspension, rather than, you know, the used 2023 suspension on the 24 car, is a good sign. So things very much looking up for Williams. Absolutely brilliant. Very positive. If you like what you see, please, though, give us a subscribe. That will be absolutely amazing. That will keep me smiling for sure. If you already subscribed, just hit that like button if you want to do something extra. But the fact that you clicked on this is amazing. The fact that you made it to the end is absolutely awesome. But no doubt, we will speak to you soon. Thank you for watching. And above all else, stay safe.